They say, in business, I'm a business school professor, where you put your money, that is what your strategy is all about. So if you want to know what my office is all about, you have to look at where the money is being put. And about 80% of the budget of my office is shared by two offices, Philippine Information Agency and Philippine Broadcasting Service. Philippine Information Agency has 16 regional offices and 68 provincial information centers. That's covering more than two-thirds of all the provinces in the Philippines. We have 80 provinces and we have information centers in each, well, in 68 out of the 80 provinces. So the Philippine Information Agency provides us with a field network so that we could perform our mission of public information, informing our people about the programs of government, policies of the President and of the administration. So the Philippine Broadcasting Service has 32 radio stations all over the Philippines, including in the so-called missionary areas where the private broadcasting companies are not operating. And it is also linked with community radio networks. So one way of understanding the work of my office is that it is the broadcasting and dissemination arm for communication of the government. Now, within this building, if you go to the ground floor, there is a place there that's called Press Working Area. And this is where about 60 journalists, professional journalists, do their work of covering the President of the Philippines. And my office is in charge of media relations, of seeing to it that they're provided with the necessary facilities for covering the President. There's also a radio TV Malacanang unit. This is the unit that goes with the President in all of his official functions and does photographic coverage of his activities. And we have a News and Information Bureau, that's where Danny is a director, that does monitoring of radio and newspaper reporting every day.
You know, every year in the ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations, when the Minister of Energy conference, we have the ASEAN Energy Efficiency Awards. It is an award for corporations, businesses, buildings who have achieved a significant improvement in their consumption of energy. The Philippines has always been in that list of winners. And one of the ministers of energy went to me, "What is it with you Filipinos? Why are you always winning all these awards on energy efficiency?" I said, very simply, the cost of power is expensive. So your comment about what is it? Yes, it is a drawback. But there's an USAID study going around for the region that says we're not actually that expensive. It's just that we do not subsidize directly or indirectly our electricity rates, while our neighbors do. If you go to the Department of Trade and Industry, they have a very long list of companies that want to come to the Philippines and do business here and operate here. And every week, the president is inaugurating a new industrial project somewhere. As I said, we are not the most expensive. Singapore is the most expensive. And if you look at Singapore continues to grow. Its businesses and industry continue to expand. It's really about which companies are going to be more ready to address the reality of the future of higher energy costs. Now, we're not saying it's wrong for our neighbors to subsidize. If they can afford it, they should. We cannot. I have an overhang of a debt that was left to us by previous generations. So I have to settle that debt. And that debt is so huge I can't even afford to subsidize what we have right now.
Yeah.
So far, the country moves on, even at these prices. It's not easy. It's not, there are always challenges, there are always criticisms. But as I said, if you believe in the human drive for innovation, there will always be an opportunity to become more efficient. This year, during the Energy Efficiency Awards, one of the Japanese manufacturing firms doing business in the Philippines achieved, you will not believe the number, 72% savings on their electricity consumption and keeping their production at the same level. Now these guys have are suddenly going to be one of the most competitive production facilities there is in the world because they have understood what the challenge are. They found ways to make the cost in. Now, it is a disincentive. It is a people get, oh my God, it's very high. But when you look at the Philippines from other perspectives, why is the Philippines today, I think, the third or the fourth largest shipbuilder in the world? Why are the Japanese, the Koreans, and the Chinese coming to build their shipyards here? Why are all the business process outsourcing in the Philippines? Why are all the call centers coming to the Philippines? Why are we talking of medical tourism in the Philippines? So there are other advantages to doing business in the Philippines. We're not saying we're going to let rates continue to go high. No, we're trying our very best. And so far we've managed. We've brought down spot market rates from 7 pesos per kilowatt to a little over 3 pesos per kilowatt. That's a 50% reduction in spot price. Our charts show that 2011 was basically a cheaper electricity year than 2010. So we are trying our best and we continue to work to bring it down. But I also have to say that it's not an end game just because of high electricity costs. Definitely we will be more competitive if we are able to bring our costs down. But we also realize that you cannot subsidize.
The good fit is one, they're looking for investments. Qatar has easily close to $500 billion of investable funds. So they're looking for outlets, investment projects all over the world. The Philippines is a good option for them because one, I believe they're kind of used to Filipinos because there are, as I said, close to 300,000 Filipinos in Qatar. I'm sure Qataris are very familiar now with the Philippines. So there's that feeling of security, a sense of security that investing in the Philippines is something that they can do, that they can accept because they are aware of the pros and cons of the Philippines. The good side, the advantages of Philippines as an investment destination. I'm sure they also know our macro statistical records, our democratic form of government, and of course now a new government that is considered honest, transparent. We have land to offer them. Let's say for vegetable growing, our fruits exports would be another big source of investments for them, like our coconut plantations, our mango, and our banana plantations, pineapple plantations. The other advantages of being in the Philippines, like lower labor costs, number one, the ease of doing business in the Philippines, number two. Number three, the English-speaking capability of our population makes foreign investors feel more secure. Physically, just going around the place, there's ease in being able to speak English because then that means you don't have to rely on a translator. And that documents here, legal documents, are normally in English. So you know exactly documents that you're entering in. You can read English, we can read English. It makes it safer, even in the absence of translators, to transact business in English.
For more videos, please visit www.voicesofthephilippines.com.